All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the December 17th BOCC meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first thing we have on our agenda are minutes from our last meeting. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
I do not have any.
I don't.
Okay.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, December 10th, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to approve this special meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County held on Thursday, December 10th, 2024 as presented.
Second.
And it has also been moved to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, December 10th, 2024 for a special meeting. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving right along now to planning. Looks like we have a heavy agenda today. All right, looks like we only have one Mylar for,
We have a Mylar and exemption document for Oliver Farms.
okay. Roll them out.
Guess I should have corrected it before.
God, I can't. Guess I'm gonna have to carry a static ground with me wherever I go. Jeez. Walked over there, snapped him, and I just snapped this. Hooked me up to the power grid, I don't know.
That's all I got, unless you have questions, concerns.
How deep into concerns do you want to go?
I'd say not at all today.
All right, that sounds like a good plan.
No reason to ring Christmas.
All right, very good.
All right.
All right, thank you, Don. Appreciate it. All right. Now we have a presentation and discussion for the 2025 budget, and this is a notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing, determining, and approving the 2025 budget. And with that, would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here?
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
Good job. Okay, Travis, would you give us an overview of the 2025 budget as we are ready to approve it?
Sure. First, what I'll do is go through the synopsis and then through the resolutions. Some of the resolutions have been adjusted based upon some training that we went through related to budgeting. So a quick synopsis. Revenues are obviously lower than the expenses. It's anticipated the county is going to draw approximately $1.7 million from reserves. Revenues are anticipated at $14,587,580. Expenditures are $16,319,230. Commissioners, when people start looking at the overall budget, the commissioner's budget increased 67%. This is mainly due to statutory salary increases, as well as professional services in the amount of $220,000 for anticipated attorney fees for Sheriff's Office collective bargaining and Sheriff's Office analysis. Clerk's Office reduced 3.6%. It's a reduction in tech fund and postage. Treasurer's budget increased 10.93%. This was because of salary and benefits and postage. Assessor's Office decreased 11.92%. That was due to a reduction of full-time employee that was budgeted at 42.1. County Attorney, no overall change. Planning increase of 5.56. This was due to salary increases and operating, $500 in operating. Veterans decreased 4.17%. This was adjustments in permanent salary and a reduction in part-time employees, and then adjustments based upon reimbursements from the state. Maintenance decreased 1.4% overall. Administration increase of 0.27%. This is for an audit and an increase in fuel maintenance for county vehicles. Public trustee, no change. Natural resources, 50% reduction. This was because of the discontinuation of IHOP and ORIC grants. Animal shelter, that was transferred to the Sheriff's Office budget. Noxious weeds decreased 65.9%. Grant salaries are no longer included, and Russian olive expenses are removed due to a discontinuation of the free Adify program and a restructuring of the department. IT decrease of 8.5%. Countywide maintenance contracts was reduced as Sheriff's Office software was placed back into their budget based upon information from 2024. IT is still going to manage that, but we just wanted that visual explanation to the community. GIS increased 5.44%. Salary increase and maintenance costs, elections, 22.5% decrease. This is mainly due to election cycles. A presidential election costs a lot of money, so there's a decrease there. Surveyor, no change. Emergency management, 3.17% increase. Approved salary increase and $1,000 increase for dues, travel, and training. Now we're down into the Sheriff's Office, which probably is the most discussed budget. Their overall budget is 42.8% of the general fund budget. Jail increase of a 0.87%. Most detention personnel last year received ranges from 5, 10, 12, 14, and 16.5%. And we have frozen those, and only those that receive 5% or less will get their cost of living this year. We also increased their food budget by $30,000. And we transferred some line items that was underutilized for 2024. Sheriff's budget increased 109%. This is mainly visual representation only. Last year, the Sheriff's Office did not lose any of these fundings, i.e. IT services. So briefly, Town of Dolores contract, that's included in the Sheriff's budget for 2025. LEA funds are based upon mill levy predictions, and we have placed those in the Sheriff's Office budget this year. We're going to transfer that money. The money's still there, but we're transferring it from LEA into the Sheriff's budget, and you'll get a transfer order in the near future. That amount was $778,264. And in the budget, it shows in the transfers in and out. Software, again, last year was managed by IT because of, we was finding software countywide, not just in the Sheriff's Office, countywide, that was being duplicated or paid for and not utilized. That amount is $166,030. Insurance and bonds, they never lost their insurance and bonds. It was managed out of the miscellaneous budget. But again, for visual representation, we moved that back into the Sheriff's budget, $293,690. Debt service principal for patrol car leases are also included. That overall expenditure is $296,660. District Attorney's Office, no change. Coroner, 4.79% increase. Professional services because of pathology and pathologist raises and increase in their fees. Law Enforcement Authority, that was transferred into the Sheriff's Office budget. County Fair, no budget was presented, so we come up with a figure based upon expenditures of last year. Extension is a 3.9% increase and $1,550 increase to professional services. Fairgrounds, 83% decrease due to the solar grant. Also a decrease in $5,000 in utilities due to the installation of that solar. Conservation Trust increased 7.66%. We've allocated $120,000 out of CTF for asphalt and concrete improvements. Senior Services and Transportation Fund, they've been transferred out of the general fund and they're now their own separate fund, and it's going to be managed by social services. And then just quickly, not general fund related, but road and bridge. We have a project of Highway 184 and County Road 26. Total expenditures $7,688,176 with revenues of $6,403,709. Fleet decreased 37.4% because of a restructuring of FTEs. Public health, they're pretty much an in and out. We provide them $39,000, $40,000 a year. And then social services, they're based upon allocation from the state and our mill levy. Their total expenditures are anticipated at $18,484,110. And I'm not sure if you want to open it up to public hearing next or go through the resolutions.
I think I can, first of all, ask any questions. Commissioners, you guys have anything for Travis at this point in time? And then I can open it up for public hearing. At this point in time, I would open this budget presentation up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this 2025 proposed budget? Now is the time to get up here to the podium and speak your piece. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application and then bring it back and we can go through the resolutions and appropriations.
The first is a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending last day of December 2025.
And then 16. This is the first one, I think. Adopting is the first one?
Adopting, correct.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I move to approve resolution number 15, 2024, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 15, 2024, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 25 and ending on the last day of December 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Travis.
The next is a resolution to appropriate sums of money for 2025. This is also identified in Appendix A within the resolutions.
I move to approve resolution number 16, 2024, a resolution to appropriate sums of money for 2025 for Montezuma County.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 16, 2024, a resolution to appropriate sums of money for 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And just to include in that, Commissioners, all funds total was $50,098,768. Within the appendix is, it's broken down into 3 separate categories: permanent salaries, operation, and capital. That was based upon information that we obtained during training. So those are the funds that each department and each elected office has to spend.
Okay.
And this is the appendix. We're having difficulties with technology. My apologies. Next is a resolution levying general property taxes for the year 2024 to help defray the cost of government for Montezuma County, Colorado for the 2025 budget. And this is
I gotta wait till she shows me.
So I think the only change that they see here, Travis, is the change to social services. Is that correct?
correct. Social
Road and bridge is the
services.
same.
Yes, everything else is the same. Social services received a 0.25% from the county general.
Okay.
They're all the same. The rest of them.
Yes.
I move to approve resolution number 17, 2024, a resolution levying general property tax for the year 2024 to help defray the cost of government for Montezuma County, Colorado for the 2025 budget.
Second. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You did.
I didn't know if you wanted me to read
You
those
can
mill
read it.
levies off.
Yeah.
The county general mill levy is set at 10.588, social services 1.05, road and bridge at 2.616, for a total of mill levy of 14.254.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 17, 2024, a resolution levying general property taxes for the year 2024 to help defray the cost of government for Montezuma County, Colorado for the 2025 budget. The county general will be at 10.588 mills, social services 1.05, road and bridge 2.616, for a total of 14.254 mills. Is there any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This next one is a resolution levying general property taxes for the year 2024, help defray the cost of law enforcement authority of Montezuma County for the 2025 budget, and it is set at 1.450 mills.
I move to approve resolution number 18/2024, a resolution levying general property tax on the year, for the year 2024 to help defray the cost of law enforcement authority of Montezuma County, Colorado for the 2025 budget. The law enforcement authority mill will be set at 1.450.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 18/2024, a resolution levying general property taxes for the year 2024 to help defray the cost of the law enforcement authority of Montezuma County, Colorado for the 2025 budget in the amount of 1.450 mils. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 19.
Next is a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County E911 Authority for the calendar year beginning the first day of January 2025 and ending the last day of December 2025.
I move to approve resolution number 19/2024, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County E911 Authority, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 19/2024, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County E911 Authority, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 The last is a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County Law Enforcement Authority, Colorado for the calendar year beginning the first day of January 2025 and ending the last day of December 2025, and that will be the transfer into the sheriff's office of $778,264.
I move to approve resolution number 20/2024, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County Law Enforcement Authority, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 20/2024, a resolution adopting a budget for the Montezuma County Law Enforcement Authority, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is it, gentlemen.
All right. Very good. Well, that was relatively short. Okay. Moving right along, we'll go right into public comment. The Board of Montezuma County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during the public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all the members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments. Comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted, and participants may not yield their time to others. With that, the public comment session is open. All right. right, seeing no public comment, we'll close the public comment session of this and jump right into unfinished business. First thing we have is the decisions related to the allocation of our unused private activity bond allocations to the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. We did have a presentation yesterday from CHAFA. We did have a pretty large project here, which was dealing with the fish ponds as it related to the sleeping ute apartments here in Cortez. Apparently that fell through, and they had another company or project that was supposed to happen after that. That also fell through. So by the date that we are now out of time for the expenditure of these funds, so these have to go back to CHAFA. So this is not just money that the county has sitting in a coffer that we can just use arbitrarily for anything. These are specifically used for private activity bonds. And we did have a presentation yesterday, and we had Corey Kalanick. And these will go back to CHAFA. Any questions, gentlemen?
No.
Okay.
I would so move that we approve the return of unused private activity bonds allocations to the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, otherwise known as CHAFA.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to return the unused private activity bond allocations to the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, CHAFA. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We also now have a decision. It's related to the Dolores County use of the Beaver Rim gravel pit. We did have a conversation with the Dolores County Commissioner, a Dolores County Commissioner, along with the Road and Bridge Superintendent. There was a request that was put in last year about being able to coexist on the Beaver Rim gravel pit. Since it is in Montezuma County, the Forest Service needed a letter from Montezuma County for Dolores County so they could establish their own contract with the Forest Service so that they can also use that pit, which would serve Dolores County equally as well as Montezuma County. So I believe is all we have to do is forward now a letter, correct, Travis?
Yeah, just authorize me to
Yep. Sign the
author a
letter.
letter, yeah.
Yep. I would so move we authorize the administrator to forward a letter to the Forest Service supporting Dolores County's use of the Beaver Rim pit.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the county administrator to establish a letter to the Forest Service for the use of the Beaver Rim gravel pit for Dolores County. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The letters of interest for the Fairview Cemetery Board, we did have a few letters of interest. However, to be consistent with all of the other boards that we do appoint, we will advertise for this board. We will keep these letters of interest on file, and we'll look at them after we have the closing of the advertisement. So Travis, you can get that advertisement
Yes, sir.
out. And we'll get this closed and hopefully appointed shortly after the first of the year. So that'll be to come later. All right. I guess we can, well, we can't really have an offsite executive session yet. So I think what we're going to do is we don't have a continuation of a public hearing at 10 o'clock. We've got 30 minutes, so I think what we're going to do is take a 30-minute recess or
Commissioner,
further.
if I may jump in on the board's decision to return those PAB bonds to CHAFA, in the materials that the representatives provided the county yesterday was a draft resolution that would affect the return of those bonds. So I think in the context of our public meeting today, if it is the board's intent to return those bonds, which the board moved to do. I think it would be necessary, the way I understand how it's set up, to adopt this resolution that was part of the materials today. It was prepared by the representatives from CHAFA, and I think that's how they would like to see the county do that. So I would recommend, if it is the board's intent, to adopt this resolution.
So it'd be 21?
That's the
Okay.
resolution. The resolution's actually on the next page.
And it would be 21, right, Ken?
Yes, sir.
I think we just need this one here.
I move to approve resolution number 21, 2024, a resolution declaring the intent of Montezuma County, Colorado to delegate to the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority the authority to issue bonds using 2021 and 2022 private activity bond volume cap in the connection with the financing housing facilities for low and middle income families and persons, and authorizing a delegation agreement in connection therewith.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 21, 2024, a resolution declaring the intent of Montezuma County, Colorado to delegate to the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority the authority to issue bonds using 2021 and 2022 private activity bond volume cap in connection with financing housing facilities for low and middle income families and persons, and authorizing a delegation agreement in connection therewith. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Stephen, is that the only thing they need to sign?
Is there two of them?
That's my understanding.
Did you get those documents from them yesterday, late yesterday? I think there's also that certificate. That they need to sign. There's also,
Ken probably needs to sign this, other commissioners.
the delegation agreement.
Do we need to all sign it?
On the federal tax? I think you're required to sign it.
So, yeah, it looks like each of these contemplates signature.
I think since we've approved it, these can just be signed at this point in time, correct?
Yeah, I'll briefly look at each individually, but yeah, by my read, because the board moved to take this action, a member of the board could subsequently sign each of these documents necessary to make that happen, except for the resolution, which has now been adopted.
Right.
I was paying attention to Kim, not what he said. What do we need?
I think we just need to sign these.
Okay.
I think we're good. The resolution accepted it. We can just sign them.
I move this, to sign this federal tax exemption certificate from Montezuma County, Colorado.
As it relates to the private activity bond.
Yeah, as it relates to the private activity bonds.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to sign the federal tax exemption certificate, Montezuma County, Colorado, as it's related to the private activity bonds for CHAFA. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. doesn't matter which way order we do them in. I move to sign this delegation agreement. Delegation agreement is made, entered into as December 17, 2024 between Montezuma County Public Body and the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to sign this delegation agreement between Montezuma County and the Colorado Housing Authority. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I move to sign this certificate of Montezuma County, Colorado concerning the private activity bond volume cap allocation.
Second.
Moved and seconded to sign the certificate of Montezuma County concerning the private activity bond volume cap allocation. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Stephen, are we good to go with that now?
I think so, yep.
All right, very good. Well, we still have some time, so I guess we'll just go ahead and into our reports. And with that, Stephen, I'm going to let you start.
All right, thank you. Well, it continues to be a busy time in the county attorney's office. We've had a lot of action on our different civil cases that the county is involved in. Let me just pull my notes up. As part of the aftermath of the Road 41 case, Rob Engelhard and I are still working with those property owners on getting that fence out that's in the county's right-of-way. I've been in communication with attorneys for the property owners on that stretch, and there has been movement. A lot of the fence in one portion of that property has been taken out, but there's still more work to be done. So both Rob and I have been working to make sure that progress keeps happening. I would say the property owners have kind of prioritized one section of the property, which has mostly had the fence taken out, and we just recently sent over kind of an itemized list of things that still need to be done on that portion of the property. On the Ironwood case, I'm in contact with CDPHE's attorney on how to take any next steps that are necessary, and I think we'd be best served by scheduling an executive session for purposes of receiving legal advice at a upcoming meeting of the Board of County Commissioners to determine what the best way is to move forwards in that case. On the severance tax lawsuit, where we're at right now is that briefing's been complete, so I worked with counsel for other counties who are involved in that lawsuit on the pleadings that were filed on behalf of the counties, and then the state just filed a response reiterating a bunch of their procedural objections. So at this point, we're really waiting for the court to weigh in. Briefing's basically complete. And I think the two sides are pretty far apart on how this is all supposed to work. So it's really going to come down to how what interpretation the court takes on that issue. On the dollar store case, I've been working with our contract counsel, Lance Ingalls, who's working on the responses, which are due on January 10th. So we're getting close to the deadline on that case, and I think we're planning to file our responses and let the court, ultimately decide those issues at this point. Just for my office functioning, I did advertise the assistant county attorney position for a short time. I got some initial applications, but I really never got any applications after the first few. So I think it's partly due to the short time that I advertised that position for. So I'm going to be re-advertising that position. I think it could have been a mix of the holidays in there with Thanksgiving and the short time frame. So I'm hoping for a better applicant pool for that position, and I'm planning to fly it through the end of January. So leave it open because we do have more holidays coming up here, and then we'll be in a better position to hire someone to join me here in the office. On the child protection front, I think things are mostly going well. With the holidays coming up, I think the court has also decided not to set too much stuff, so we should be entering a little bit of a slowdown on that front. I'm obviously here today. I had a trial that was scheduled yesterday and today that was continued to mid-January. So I do have 2 trials set on the same dates about a month from now. But overall, things are going well. We got a lot of balls in the air, but I'm pretty happy with how things are going overall.
All right, any questions for Steve?
No.
I guess I do have one,
Sure.
and it's on the Road 41, and I know there's some progress being made, but, I mean, how much longer are we gonna wait? I mean, we had a hard stop date of October 31st, and we're almost December 31st again. I mean, why is it not? I mean, why is it not happening?
Well, I think we're sort of in a, there's some water in the glass, and I think it's a matter of perspective probably on, is the glass half full or is it half empty? In the time since I've gotten involved, my understanding is this is the most progress that's been made on fence removal along the road the whole time that the county's been working on that issue. So I've been in communication with their attorneys about continuing that progress. And we've got some things on our side. We've had this dry, kind of warm period here. So hopefully, I think it's a worthwhile enterprise basically to keep working with them as they continue to get fence out. But it is a developing situation, and I've been working with Rob to, facilitate the fence to continue to come out.
I get all that, but again, this is a 6-year event for me. We gave them a date, and it's been proven that we can take down 4 miles of fence in one day over there, but on this case, we can't take down a mile of fence in 2 months. So I'm pretty disappointed. I would like to see it accelerated because there's no reason for it not to be down and out of our right of way. I mean, I guess I don't see the issue with it. The fence that's in the right of way should have been down and out.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that's the position that I've expressed on the county's behalf to the attorneys I've been talking to. And, I mean, we could take a stronger position.
Well, they gave us the date, and we extended it to the 31st of October. We were working with them, and they gave us the date, and now we're almost 2 months beyond that date, which I realize if there was inclement weather or something going on, but I mean, enough is enough. Get the fence down. Get it out of our right of way. Anyway, I'll stop.
There's some guys in Mancus are good to
That's what I was saying. We can take down 4 miles of fence in a day. I don't understand why we can't get this fence
It
down.
took us 2 days. It took us 2
Okay,
days.
2 days, I apologize, I stand corrected, but this is the epitome of bureaucracy and allowing bull crap to continue. Stop. Tell those attorneys, we want the damn fence down. It's gotta get done.
Right, and
So,
and that's
I'll stop.
consistent with what I've been telling them, that like they've been involved in this just as long as you have, as far as the property owners. So I think they're aware of the history. I've reiterated the county's position, and I've been in talks with them about
10 days.
specifically the punch list.
We've already given them more than that. I'm saying now it's time to just go take it down. And we can get a hold of some people that can take it down. I guess that's where I'm at. I'm beyond my wits end because it's always the same old song and dance. We'll just tell them we'll get it down in another 5 days. We'll get it down in 10 days. We'll get it down in a month.
Yeah, I mean, if that's I think we should definitely include Rob Engelhardt in any conversation about, the county going down and taking out the fence. My conversations with their attorneys have been in the context about them, taking out the fence. And so I think there's some additional considerations about, potentially some dispute about whose property the fence is and things like that. But also, from my perspective, there's also, especially in my conversations with their attorneys about, the relationship between the county and the property owners. I know we talked about a bridge on that road that's going to require some collaboration to make sure that the waterway under the bridge is cleared out because there's a lot of dirt in it following some heavy rain in that area over the summer. So that's kind of where, I'm not the one that's going to go dig the fence up, right? But
Understand that.
in the context of the work I've been doing, that's what I've been working on.
Okay, we'll have a conversation with Rob. Fence is going. It's time, it's beyond time. Because I guarantee you, if we don't just get it done, we're gonna be having this conversation on December 17th of next year. This is what this is done every time. Enough is enough. All right. Thank you, Stephen. Travis?
I'll try to make mine quick, Commissioner. We had some further discussions with Mel regarding the cell 5 gravel issues. Met with and didn't meet with, but I spoke with Mesa County regarding fairgrounds and 501c3 and our enterprise. I'll be meeting this week with another 501c3 organization to further that discussion. We're still working through the CIP program. I'll have another meeting this week to discuss that. I do want to thank staff, Phaedra and Rob. They worked really hard over the last week or two on this mill levy stuff. And I think we all got a good education on roles and responsibilities. So thank you, and Phaedra. And then we should hopefully have a IGA with Pueblo Community College coming in the near future regarding the shooting range. So hopefully we're making some progress there.
Oh, very good.
And that's it, gentlemen.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Travis. Kim, do you have anything for us today?
So I wanted to let you guys know that I received, basically, I received a packet from Cortez Fire District on an impact fee analysis for adoption of impact fees. My understanding is they provided a copy of the study for any comments that the County of Montezuma, Colorado would like to make, and then it says, please provide your comments within 60 days of this letter. It was dated December 12th. I will have the packet in my office if anybody wants to come view it. So if somebody wants to make comments on that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk to you gentlemen about was I had a pretty intensive conversation yesterday with a constituent about how I attest your documents. Basically and Stephen can tell me if I'm wrong here, but when I attest your documents, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you. I am just strictly saying that I witnessed your signature. And that was a quite extensive conversation, but I believe that's correct.
That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to let you guys know that that was a conversation I had.
Does this person have a legal certificate hanging on their wall?
No, they do not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's all that means, is that you
Yeah.
watched us, signed it, and
It has
You're
nothing to do with
certain-
my own
no.
personal feelings.
No.
That-
just you're saying that we signed the documents.
I witnessed.
Yeah. Okay. So a little farther on the Cortez Fire Protection District, that's in your office for anybody to view and comment. that
The
correct?
comments need to go to the fire district. I'm not even sure
Correct.
why I received it.
To
but-
the fire district.
Right. You wanna see it? But, it is, I have it in my office if anybody wants to view it.
I think that's the same document I forwarded on the
Yes.
commissioners. Yeah.
Yeah, it states that comments will be taken 60 days as of the date of the letter, and I don't, what's the date on the letter?
The 12th.
The 12th? Okay. And they'll consider any such comments. And going through there, I see that there's a component in there for the CIP program. And I didn't know what total was going on with CIP, but I don't think consideration of the CIP program in their funds, of course, that's just a personal comment, should be taken in. And-
Drew and I met with Fire District last week, just briefly, and hopefully at some point in time we'll get them in for a workshop
Okay.
to discuss this with the commissioners.
Okay.
So basically what that will do is that those impact fees will be just like the school impact fees
Yes.
we charge on every new development that occurs?
It's very similar. However, after talking to planning and zoning, this is all on Cortez Fire.
Yeah.
Correct. And it would
100%
only be within their district,
within their
correct?
district.
Yeah, not outside of their district. So, trying to think, their district runs to M Road on 491, is that correct, Kent? And then everything north of there is in Areolas.
Yeah, it
On
goes down.
Dolores.
Comes in M, crosses over to 25, goes up 25, and then crosses over
To N or P?
to P, I believe, goes up, and it takes in a little bit of our road, then comes back down the highway and crosses over again down the center line of P Road to the district edge over 33, on 33.
Yeah.
And
And then
it sounds like
everything
this has
south,
been
so
years
it's-
in the making, and then the sales tax got passed, but they're still moving forward with this impact fee, which we discussed that as well.
But it's up to them.
It's totally up to the fire
Has
district.
nothing to do with the county. Okay. Anything else? I'll let you go off now.
I probably better not.
Okay. All right, Commissioners' report. I'm gonna make it till 10 o'clock.
You're barely gonna make it.
To my left. Commissioner,
This past week, I attended the MBI meeting after last Tuesday's meeting, and then, actually, it wasn't very long. I came back for our special meeting that afternoon concerning the gravel at the landfill. On Wednesday evening, I attended the Mancos Town meeting also, and they're dealing with a lot of same issues. They passed some different resolutions and stuff to set them up for the next year and stuff, so their meeting was fairly short also. On Thursday, I had a meeting over Southwest Water Conservation District over in Durango. It was basically approving our budget for over there and the mill levies for all these 9 counties that are involved in that district. We had quite a bit of discussion about Colorado River issues and where that's at with the states and the negotiations, which is not good. And I'm sure that the whole process is probably gonna end up, Bureau of Reclamation is gonna make some type of a recommendation as to how the guidelines are gonna go, but they basically, what a lot of people don't understand is they are basically the water cop for the lower basin states, but they are not for the upper basin states. So Colorado's not gonna agree with their rules. Is the feeling I'm getting, and and we can't, because we haven't been using our part of the water, and they've been using all the excess. So at some point, they've got to start paying more attention to the upper basin states and their desire to keep more water in Lake Powell, stop draining it. So hopefully Colorado's gonna stand tough, and it may end up in a lawsuit, but at some point, we've got to stand up to get that shut down. So the other thing we had a lot of discussion about is we are in Water Division 7. They're passing new rules for this water division, and there's not a whole lot of difference in what has been there before, but they're gonna enforce them more. So everybody has to have a proper measuring device and head gate for them to be able to divert water. And they're gonna, I think that will become more and more enforceable as they pass these new rules with it. There is gonna be some help for people because they're gonna have to change some of their head gates and their diversion and their measuring device in order to meet these new rules. I think at Southwest, we're gonna try to get some kind of program set up to help people, because some of these diversions are rather expensive to get put back in. So I think we're gonna try to get something set up where we can help people to meet those new guidelines that they're gonna have to have. We discussed a lot of other things over there too. It's pretty crazy, all the things that are going on around. So I think that's about all I got.
I don't have near as much you do. We went to a school program last night. It was quite good over in Dolores. But I was remiss last week in not thanking the Four Corners Board of Realtors for the Christmas parade. They did quite an outstanding job again. And congratulations to Terry McKay for being the Grand Marshal. Going up and down the streets of our municipalities and out in the county, some people have really gone to the limits with decorations. You should get out and see those. It makes the community look really nice. And I did attend a city council meeting, and they passed their budget, did some resolutions, and had a lengthy discussion on term limits for their committees. So that's about the size of it.
All right, very good. Well, mine is going to be relatively short also. I actually took vacation last week and spent a week out of town with my daughter. It was and grandson. It was actually very enjoyable. But I do have was following a lot of emails as it pertains to the NCA. So I'm going to be optimistic in my statement here, Commissioner. I do believe I've been wrong before, but Jeff Small with Representative Bobert's office and John Whitney have been working together. They both have, along with all of the partners in this, have agreed on the new proposed language that basically came from Anfield, the mining corporation. And it sounds like that hopefully they can get this in the public lands package, and it will hopefully, again, I'm being optimistic, can get passed within this Congress, which I believe exits Congress next week. So there is still hope that something will get done in a public lands package. So again, I'm being hopeful and optimistic, and I hope I'm not wrong. Otherwise,
I hope you're right.
Otherwise, there is still the threat of a monument moving towards us, which we will then address and fight at that point in time. And I think we've covered everything in our that we had in our workshop yesterday. We did have a quick updates from our Bureau of Land Management at the Tres Rios Field Office. We had Derek Padilla in here and Ray, I forget his last name.
O'Neill.
O'Neill. And it does sound like they will be getting that little walkway for the Lamb House from our parking lots down on County Road G coming up this next year. And then actually, the BLM working along with us as far as signage in the aqueduct area. So, it seems like we have those issues squared away and done. And that's all that I have. All right. We don't have to take a recess. It's 10:02. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come on down. If you need to, if you want to. You don't have to. All right.
Rob, did you want to come down too?
Okay, so this is a continuation of a discussion and a decision related to a supplemental budget request that we had a public hearing on December 31st. So would you call the roll, Kim, please?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder.
All right. So basically, this is going to be short and sweet. Finance, administration, the undersheriff, the sheriff's office, and office staff have all worked together to minimize the overspending of the sheriff's budgets by limiting overtime and other spending through the end of the year, and by transferring unexpended grant funding from the black and gray and gaming impact grants to the sheriff and jail budgets. Thank you all. And again, thank you for working with us along with finance for doing what we have had to do in these troubled times. At this time, the Board of County Commissioners has not approved the supplemental budget request for the sheriff's office. But if necessary, we'll approve the supplemental budget at the last Board of County Commissioners meeting of the year to ensure that the general fund as a whole is not overspent. In the 2025 budget, each department budget funds are appropriated by category to ensure that each Montezuma County department and office will be fully accountable to operate within their budgeted funds. So at this point in time, again, we are not going to approve any other items, and we'll wait till the last year of the month to see, just to make sure that the general fund is not overspent. Do you have any questions? Or Rob, do you have anything to add? I'm sorry.
No, I don't have anything to add. I think just to clarify, I did want to again thank the sheriff's office staff and the undersheriff for working to find the cost savings where we could, and then also to identify the funding that we could transfer over to help blunt the impact of the overspending. And the way our budget in 2024 is appropriated, really the bottom line, the bottom line of the entire general fund is what matters, and we will, if necessary, do a budget amendment or a budget adjustment to protect that at the final meeting of the year. It's going to be close. It's possible that we'll have to do it. It's also possible that we won't. But we're looking at the numbers through the end of the year to identify that. And as Commissioner Candelaria mentioned, to avoid this issue, specifically to protect the general fund in future years, and 2025 to be specific, the way that the fund was appropriated earlier when the budget was passed, it is appropriated not just by department, but also by category within the department. So each department or office is responsible for their salaries, their operating funds, and their capital funds. And that each department and budget is responsible for that. So any expense beyond those that is unanticipated would require a budget adjustment from that department, and it would be up to the commissioners to decide if that is reasonable or necessary. I think that's all that I have as well.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have anything else?
I just want to thank you all for getting us to this point. I mean, we started out with a big hole to fill, and you guys have really stepped up. Rob, you and Phaedra and staff have also done an excellent job to get us there. We're close, so appreciate it.
Anything to add, ladies, gentlemen?
No, we appreciate the fact that, with Rob, with Phaedra, some of the relationship repair that we've been able to, get to a spot where we'll at least minimize the impact as much as possible, and we appreciate the work that they put in as well. And especially the staff. I mean, it's been a weekly grind, just making sure we can minimize that impact as much as possible, and I appreciate their work as well.
Agreed. 100%. All right. Thank you. With that, I'll close this public hearing. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Again.
Okay, going back, I'm all over this agenda today. Now we have a resolution censuring Sheriff Steve Nowlin for expending funds beyond appropriations. Travis, would you read that for us? If you have that in front of you.
Yes, sir. Resolution censuring Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin for expending funds beyond appropriation. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners has exclusive power to adopt the annual budget for the operation of county government, including all offices, departments, boards, commissions, and other spending agencies of the county government, and other agencies which are funded in whole or part by county appropriations per statutes. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners implemented financial policies which establish and direct the budget process and financial management of all spending agencies of Montezuma County. Finance Department administration are responsible for carrying out the policy directives of the Board of County Commissioners and establishing the necessary procedures to do so. Whereas Colorado statute requires local governments to prepare and adopt an annual budget, and it also specifies the information that the budget is required to include, CRS 29-1, 101 through 115. Board of County Commissioners is responsible for the annual appropriation of the budget in accordance with these statutory requirements. The scope of these financial policies extends to all funds, elected offices, and departments for the county, and to related districts and authorities under the purview of the Board of County Commissioners, including the law enforcement authority. County is also required to adhere to the local government auditing law, CRS 29-1, 601 at SAG. Whereas during the 2024 fiscal budget, the Board of County Commissioners learned of financial mismanagement on the part of Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin related to unpaid invoices from 2023, which affected the object classification for 2024. The Board of County Commissioners also learned of Sheriff Steve Nowlin exceeding and overspending his appropriated permanent salary and fringe benefits budget by $336,000, even after having been informed throughout the year by finance that Sheriff Steve Nowlin needed to limit his spending. This overage was due to Sheriff Nowlin providing individual employee raises of upwards of 24%, whereas the Board of County Commissioners only authorized 5% for all county employees. In addition to other financial mismanagement, which included multiple contracts that were discontinued and yet were being financially supported by county funds. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners are censuring Sheriff Steve Nowlin for exceeding his budget appropriation for 2024 in violation of Colorado revised statutes and in violation of Montezuma County financial policy. 29-1-110 expenditures not to exceed appropriations. During the fiscal year, no officer, employee, or other spending agency shall expend or contract to expend any money or incur any liability or enter into any contract which by its terms involves expenditures of money in excess of the amounts appropriated. Any contract, verbal or written, made in violation of this section shall be void, and no monies belonging to a local government shall be paid on such contract. 30-25-103, no liability against the county beyond appropriation. Bear with me, I need to get a sip of water, my mouth's getting dry. No contract shall be made by the Board of County Commissioners of any county, and no liability against the county shall be created by any officer of the county, whether the object of the expenditure has been ordered by the Board of County Commissioners or not, unless an appropriation shall have been previously made concerning such expense. Each member of the Board of County Commissioners and other officers of the county who undertake to create any liability against the county, except such as they are by statute required to do so, shall be personally liable, and together with the sureties upon their official bonds shall be held for such indebtedness. Financial Policy 4.6, Level of Budgetary Control. The measurement of budgetary performance and legal spending limits shall be established as follows. 4.6.1. The resolution to appropriate sums of money is a legal resolution that sets spending limits for all Montezuma County spending agencies by specific object classification. Once appropriations are approved by the Board of County Commissioners, no spending agency may expend or contract to expend any funds in excess of the amount appropriated in the appropriations resolution without an amendment to the budget. Policy 4.10, Management of Annual Budget. Responsibility to avoid deficit. Each spending agency shall manage their operations to avoid an expenditure deficit defined as spending more funds during the budget year than a total expenditure budget for that agency. Whereas censure of Sheriff Steve Nowlin by the Board of County Commissioners is a collective judgment of stern condemnation for the approval of Sheriff Nowlin that violates laws or policies, or for the actions of Sheriff Nowlin that violates laws or policies. It is also a formal act of disapproval of Sheriff Nowlin's unacceptable conduct. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners does hereby censure and formally express its disapproval of Sheriff Steve Nowlin's financial mismanagement as described above.
All right, thank you. Okay, Commissioner.
I move to approve Resolution 22, 2024, a resolution censuring Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin for expending funds beyond appropriation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 22, 2024, a resolution censuring Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin for expending funds beyond appropriations. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and with that, we have come to the end of our,
We still have executive session.
yeah, that's what I'm getting, is, do you have the table that we need to read for our executive session off-site?
I do. At this point, it's my recommendation that the board move to go into an executive session for purposes of receiving specialized details of investigations under Colorado Revised Statute 246402-4D. Information that will be discussed could be used by certain members of the public for the purposes of committing a violation of the law or avoiding prosecution under the law, which is why I'm making the recommendation that the board go into executive session to discuss these matters. My understanding is that the board will be present, as well as myself, Administrator Anderson, and members of the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office. So.
Okay.
I would so move we go into executive session for discussion of specialized details of security arrangements or investigations under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses D.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session for the discussion of specialized details of security arrangements or investigations under CRS Section 24-6-402, 4D. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and we'll be back here to adjourn this meeting whenever we get done with the executive session. Thank you all. All right, we are back, and with that, Commissioner, if you would take us out of executive session.
I'll just make a quick record. I guess I'll let you take us out of executive session, but I've got a few more things to say about that.
I so move we come out of executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to exit executive session and resume our regularly scheduled meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And then I'll just add for the record, only those issues that were previously noticed were discussed, and only those individuals who were announced as participating in the meeting participated, and no decisions were made in the context of the executive session.
All right, thank you. With that,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
moved and seconded to adjourn this December 17th, 2024 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you all.